What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the next Life is Strange game, Double Exposure Part 2, so to speak. And I spotted this over on Reddit. It does not have a lot of engagement whatsoever. I feel like only the people, which is fair, only the people in the Life is Strange community are going to care about something like this. And that is a larger talking point with the game itself. I'll get into that as we go. But look, we know, I think it's a pretty open secret at this point. It's not as open as, like, say, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake, right? Like, everybody knows that, and it's a very loud, like, open secret. It's a very, and it's also because it's a big game, and it's Ubisoft, and everybody talks, and Ubisoft just doesn't really care. I think with Life is Strange, it's like there's no matter what, you know, nobody's getting in the game's freaking way. You're going to get a second Double Exposure game, whether you like it or not, whether Square Enix wanted it or not, and I certainly imagine that they did not. Well, they did at some point, but now I think they're having second thoughts about the entire situation, but we know there's going to be a Double Exposure 2, okay? It was reported on kind of immediately after Double Exposure 1, I guess you can call it, and okay, so where are we at? Well, I saw this, again, pop off in the community, and we know it's going to happen, but nobody's really, like, the only thing we have is the play testing, right? Or I guess, well, there's rumors that people were able to play it. Remember those, I think it was LA, and it was somewhere in the UK, right? Where they were able to go, and they were able to, like, ask and answer questions about Life is Strange, right? Square Enix was going to go, and you could participate and kind of shape the future of Life is Strange. I still look at that as a positive. I'm actually more optimistic on that, and really on Double Exposure 2, than I think most people online are. I feel like I'm one of the more optimistic, but, so we already have had that. There's rumors that they were actually able to play it at those events, but there's really not a lot of, like, confirmation. But this time, we have Max Caulfield, okay, now this is not Hannah Tell, but her French voice actress, okay, she joined a live stream, a Twitch stream, and in it, she said, "I won't spoil anything by saying you haven't seen the last of the surprises." Now, that's not really a rumor. I think it's more, and I don't even really know if it was a slip-up. I think slip-ups are a little bit more, like, they're not really planned. I almost feel like that line, you go into a live stream knowing you're going to say that, right? You're almost trying to, like, lower expectations and say, like, okay, like, relax. There are things that are secrets that we can get into in maybe a couple months from now, but for now, we can't spoil anything. Like, I just feel that's a pre-planned thing that when you go into the event, you're going to say that, you know what I mean, as one of your opening lines. So I don't really look at it as a slip-up. I don't look at it as a rumor. I look at it as they know, or this individual knows that, they're playing Max Caulfield again for the second game. And look, I mean, just in terms of timeline, right, you imagine that this is, like, she's already probably recorded, I guess, localization and, like, other regions doing their voice acting. That does come pretty darn late, and it is actually possible she hasn't done it yet, but she probably knows she's gonna do it. I would imagine Hannah Tell has been, like, secretly working behind the scenes for the last year on Double Exposure 2. I cannot not believe that, at this point. And I mean, everything we've seen from Deck 9, as well as the rumors, right? Remember, the rumors basically were that they had this contract, 2 games, and that Deck 9 is in so much trouble, and they're fighting for their lives, and when Double Exposure 2 comes out, almost the entire company's gone, right? They're going to have a couple and when I say a couple, I might mean, like, less than 5, right? A couple people that are fighting for their lives, that are securing funds for the future of Deck 9, but have no guarantees, and they're letting pretty much everyone under the sun go to try to build up maybe later, right? So that's what we heard. And then you look at Deck 9, and what have we seen over the last year? Everybody's leaving. The rumor was that Deck 9 is laying people off right after they finish their work on Double Exposure 2. And what have we seen? We've literally seen people say, okay, I'm done with my work at Deck 9, and then I was laid off. It's like, it's, again, obvious. It's very, very obvious for anybody watching that, and which, by the way, I don't really think we've seen that kind of situation. Maybe, like, Visions of Mana, which I think came out, last summer? That was a similar game. I think they laid off the entire studio of that game that day, the day the game came out. And that's something, like, unprecedented. Like, people don't do that, or companies don't do that. And companies don't really do this either. Like, okay, work on the game, and then when you're done, you're out. So by the time the game comes out, we have nobody there. How do you even make trailers at that point? How do you even market the game at that point? That's the world's biggest mystery. I can't wait to see that next year. But yeah, I mean, again, a lot of this stuff has been rumors and then kind of watching it happen, but not like a 100% confirmation that the rumor is true. Technically, theoretically they could be separate events, but the odds of that are very, very low. Now we literally have, and not just any voice actress, the voice actress of Max, just in a different region, teasing it, basically teasing a second game. So look, for all this talk, again, I genuinely mean this too. I am more optimistic than most people on Double Exposure 2. I don't know if it'll be good. I think the expectations of it are very low, and they probably should be, to be honest with you. But I don't like to root against 99% of games, and I certainly don't like to root against games that the first Life is Strange game is one of my favorites, period. So I don't like to root for those games to fail, even though I have games in the franchise I'm not a fan of. I've talked about that. Life is Strange 2, I do not like that game whatsoever, but I don't want to root for Life is Strange to die. And I also am very worried that Life is Strange is going to die in a year. Like, when Double Exposure 2 comes out, not only is Deck 9 dead, but like Life is Strange is dead as well, and I don't want that. So I'm not asking people to buy Double Exposure 2 to save it, and like you have to because of that. I want you to buy it, and I want myself to buy it because it's a good game, and those things have to kind of go hand in hand. So we'll see, but it definitely looks like it's coming, and it's going to be exciting. It's just going to be a little bit different than what we're used to. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.